Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Tunnel Vision. I'm your host, Ryan Abraham, publisher of USCFootball.com, joined by Mr. Triple Double himself, Connor Morrissette, and special guest, thanks to House of Victory, we got USC sophomore tight end Walker Lyons, caught his very first touchdown of his USC career on Saturday against Georgia Southern. Walker, congratulations, and thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm super excited to come chop it up with you guys.
Nice. You don't have to be super excited. It's okay. It's just things we do.
But I'm hyped.
All right. I love it. We got to talk about some fun, some fun stuff that you got to do. I do want to thank, I'm going to put a QR code up on the screen, House of Victory. If you want to help out student athletes like Walker, you can donate to House of Victory. They do a great job. The campaign right now is the place to be. So go check it out. And they've been really great with us, allowing us to do interviews like this with Walker and a bunch of his teammates. So especially these are fun during the season because we get to kind of find out what your thoughts were from the game and all that. So we appreciate that. So make sure you check out House of Victory. You can help them out. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about, I know you did a bunch of different charity events with House of Victory. There was the Angel City, the youth stuff where you were doing, I think, basketball on a wheel with a wheelchair. But maybe talk about some of the charity work you did through House of Victory.
Yeah. So I will say the Angel City Sports one, that was my favorite. Ezra, I don't know if you guys know Ezra, but Ezra, we've become pretty close friends, and it's his charity, and so it was really cool to be able to support him, and then just to be out there with my teammates playing wheelchair basketball and archery and track, all these cool things. So that weekend was really special, and it was cool for me because I don't know, I have some personal ties and within my own family to I guess wheelchair basketball specifically. So that was cool. And then Relay for Life was another one on campus where basically a bunch of student athletes, we walked, and it was in support of cancer research and stuff like that. So that was a cool one as well.
Yeah, we heard that it was you had a good that was on actually on campus one where you're like walking for cancer and stuff. What was for the wheelchair basketball? If you don't mind, kind of going on that. I know every guy that talks about it, they've come on, they've had a lot of fun. How was your game, and what is the kind of connection with you and people with disabilities like that?
Yeah, I mean, I had a great time. We played. I don't know. I remember I played, I think, the first game against Camp Fountain, I think it was, and me and him were going after it pretty heavy in wheelchair basketball, which was fun. And then I wasn't very good, so it was kind of a bummer. I thought I would be better. Played basketball pretty much my entire life, but I wasn't very good. But my cousin, actually, I have a cousin, and he had bone cancer when he was 11. He's an amputee, and I've really felt for him, and he's just so strong. He hasn't let it define him, and so when I told him about that event, he was super excited, and we're trying to get him out to actually one of their events soon. So that was pretty cool.
Amazing, Walker. Well, keep up the great work and House of Victory. I know you guys have a lot of opportunities with them, so it's great to see that. Switching to the football field with you, as Ryan said off the top, making that first career touchdown grab. What's the reaction been since you made that catch, and how'd you feel in the moment making that play?
I mean, it was, these pictures, you could see, I was pretty excited. It's a lot of work, a lot of just lots of grind, lots of just days of preparation and stuff like that. So it was definitely a really great feeling to be able to, finally score, finally make plays that I know I can make and stuff like that. So I felt really amazing. I felt really good about it. And it was just awesome being able to celebrate with my teammates and just, get it out the way. And obviously there's a lot more to be done, but it definitely felt good.
The last year, you got to play at 11 games. The tight ends didn't catch a touchdown pass all year, which is sort of crazy. Week one, I think I got pictures up here. You had McRee and get the touchdown. Yeah, even Carson got a touchdown too. And then, of course, We'll put these pictures up again because, you don't mind seeing these ones. Like, you get to score there. So 3 tight end touchdowns already for the first 2 games. It seems like you guys, that position's getting a lot more involved in the offense now.
Yeah, I think so. I think Coach Savage has done a really good job of helping us just, I don't know, he's just teaching us well in the in the pass game and in the run game, but really just, I think that's where we've taken the biggest step forward is in the pass game with our routes, with understanding zone versus man versus defense coverages and just all this different stuff. I think he's just been super key in helping us get to kind of like that next level, and hopefully it continues to increase and we continue to see production and results. So.
You guys have started in 12 personnel the first 2 games, so you've made 2 starts. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How do you think that you and Lake have executed in those situations, and just what's it felt like to get 2 starts under your belt?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Obviously I play tight end, so the more tight ends on the field, the better. But I think it's good. It adds a cool dynamic to the offense because, especially this year, I feel like with the 2 wideouts we have, and then me and Lake, it's hard to cover because you can't really. I don't know. I think we're running the ball so well, and we're playing really physical in the run game, especially me and Lake. I think we complement each other well, just block scheme wise. And I feel like we play off each other well, just in scramble drills or just in passing games. I think we complement each other well. And then you just add that the receivers, Makai, Jacoby, and even other guys, Jay Rich, to that kind, all these guys on the outside. And I think it just makes it really hard for defenses to kind of key into what we're going to do, because one play we're 12 personnel running the ball, and the next play we're running verts out of 12 personnel. So I think it just adds a pretty cool dynamic to the offense.
What have you seen from Jaden Mayava so far? No turnovers through his first 2 games. It's the first time it's happened in his career for back-to-back games. I know that, it wasn't the highest level of opponents, but it just seems like decision-making, his confidence, he even threw a ball away, Saturday where just third down, it's like, hey, we're going to kick a field goal, just throw the ball away, don't put it in harm's way. How have you seen him kind of develop through the offseason and what you've seen through the first couple games?
I mean, I think he's developed a lot on the field, as you guys mentioned, taking care of the ball, making smart decisions, making big plays, extending plays. But I think the biggest step for our team that's helped us the most is just his leadership ability. He's really stepped up as like a vocal leader, as somebody we all can look up to. And so I think that's helped us tremendously, just having a guy like Jaden be able to lead us. And obviously he's making the plays to kind of get the guys to rally behind him. And we're all, we all support him, and we all just look up to him as a leader. And so it's super helpful that he's able to lead in that way, but also make these plays. And so it's been great to just see him grow in the off season. And I think me and him, just through spring camp, through fall camp, even through summer, we just kind of, got more chemistry on the field. Hopefully it just continues to move forward throughout the year.
You mentioned Coach Savage earlier. What's it like being coached by him? What makes him an effective coach?
Yeah, I think he sets like a standard for our room. And if anybody goes below that, he nips it right away. And he'll explain to us. It's like he says, I'd be doing you guys a disservice if I don't coach you to the best of your ability, if I don't hold you guys to the highest level of accountability, the highest level of standard. So I think he holds us to a really high standard every single expects a lot out of us. And then just the knowledge of route running and schemes and zones and all of these things, I think it just adds like a whole new perspective that has helped a lot.
So you had a new position coach you would just talk about Chad Savage, but also on the strength and conditioning side. And that's a coach that you guys have to work really close with. Tremaine Carroll comes in after spring ball. We've heard a lot of really positive things about him. What's your experience been like working with him, and from fall camp and how those practices changed, summer, and then even just pregame, everyone wearing the same uniforms and things like that. Like how has it kind of changed your preparation having Tremaine Carroll out there?
I think it's changed a lot, and I think it's made a bigger impact than probably we even realize yet. I think the impact is going to be felt down the road, especially. But I think when he got here, within like one or two conversations, I was like immediately knew that Coach True was somebody I could respect, than like somebody who has just the highest level of character. And something he does after every lift is he'll give us a quote. He'll read us a quote, or he'll talk to us about something. And every single time, every single day, there's just some wisdom in there. And he just has become like a leader for me, a mentor for me, and really for our whole team. And you mentioned it, with the sweatsuits, or with how we dress to practice, or how we go to meetings, or how we travel. There's just all of these aspects of things that we've started to pay more attention to. And I think the little details have totally, let our team buy into just this process. And we've really bought into the idea that, how you do one thing is kind of how you do everything. And I think that's just been huge for us.
You mentioned in your post-game interview about this team being selfless. Why do you think your teammates are so selfless, and what does that allow a team to do?
Yeah, I believe full-heartedly that this team is very selfless. And you could just watch the tape. You see guys catching the ball, and you see guys sprinting down there to try and make a block for them to score. Or you see, maybe walk-ons who wouldn't have opportunities to play, make tackles, and you see the whole sideline going, ballistic. Or you see kickoffs in the third quarter or our last game, and you see every single offensive starter on the sideline jumping around, getting ready for the kickoff. You just see a team that I think is really bought in together, really focused on, just one day at a time, and is really bought into a culture and a process. And I think that just translates onto the field well. And the last thing I would say is the coaches have just really instilled this attitude and this mindset in us, is if you guys are just, put the team first, work hard, everything else will kind of just work itself out.
You mentioned walk-ons. I'm gonna have to pull up a picture of King Miller here, but we were doing the research, and USC didn't have a walk-on score a touchdown since 1994, and then back-to-back weeks that happens with King Miller. You guys were going bananas. What was that like to see him score a touchdown?
It was cool, because King is just one of those guys who comes to practice, comes to lifts, goes to meetings. He's not the most outspoken person, but he just works so hard. And we all knew that was going to happen. Nobody was shocked by King scoring a touchdown, because King's like that. He's good, and he's going to be a really good football player. And especially for USC, he's going to be a great football player. So I don't think anyone was really shocked by it, but when he scored, everyone was just that's awesome, because we all know how much he deserves it and how hard he's worked.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley told us that he had the highest yards per carry in practice, so I think a lot of fans were surprised when he did what he did, but I know you guys weren't, so that's great to hear. Walker, who are some of your closest friends on the team?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm close with a lot of the offensive guys, especially the tight ends, obviously. Lake, Joey, Nella, Tabo, Walter are all really close. Me and Nella obviously went to high school together for a little bit, which is pretty cool. But I think there's a lot of guys. Everyone on the offense I'm pretty close with. I think the offense just as a unit is really close.
You mentioned travel a little bit, and you guys got the first road game coming up. You know, two wins at home, 2-0 to start the season. Big Ten play starting. Wasn't the best, time on the road last year. Do you think anything sort of changed in how you guys are approaching road games? And is that something you kind of are aware of, like, hey, we didn't play well enough on the road last year. We need to go out there and show everyone we can go in the Big Ten and travel time zones and actually go win some games?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we all know we did not perform to the level that we wanted to on the road last year. I don't think that's a mystery or. Sorry, somebody just called me. Any sort of. Yeah, I don't think. Pretty much, we know we had to be better on the road, and we definitely have done some things to try and make that process smoother. The details of it, I don't really know right now, but they've said that they have done studies, and we have basically created a plan that's going to be optimal for us to travel, to recover, and to give us every advantage that we have for the road.
I know fans will love to hear that. Got to ask you about your younger brother, Ryder Walker, because not everyone has a 5-star quarterback as a sibling. What was it like for you as an older brother when your younger brother was going through the recruiting process, the same one that you went through recently? And just how did you mentor him through all that? What's that whole thing like where you have another star athlete in the family?
I mean, yeah, I tried to be there for him through it all, and I think I gave him my advice and gave him things that helped me from the back end, seeing it, after seeing it from a different perspective, being in college, having gone through the process, having actually started and enrolled at a school. And ultimately it was his decision to kind of go wherever he wanted to go. I didn't make him go anywhere. My parents didn't make him go anywhere. It's fully his decision. But I mean, it was awesome. He worked so hard. He works day in and day out on his craft, and he really just deserves it all. Which is cool, but I definitely gave him my advice, and it's definitely cool to have a brother as cool as him. It's awesome. We have another little brother. He's a freshman, so maybe we'll have another Lions in the discussion later. But it was awesome to see obviously your little brother succeed. That's super cool as an older brother to maybe set an example and then have your brother chase that and even go beyond that, which is cool.
Cool. We can get to some peristyle questions if that works for you. Yeah. So we posted on our message board over at uscfootball.com some questions for you. You want to do some fan questions? Is that cool?
Do it.
Great. I wanted to put this up again. I didn't realize I took this. I'm like, I took this photo of you from fall camp. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I like that one.
Yeah.
I'll send it over to you if you want. I was just like,
it's a good picture.
We have to I download pictures.
I don't know if the one you guys took from the game, but one of those is cool. The end zone but that one's cool.
That one, yeah, that's from Shotgun. Shotgun was here taking pictures and stuff, and you got a couple of good ones of you. Yeah,
that's cool.
Whenever we get someone on, we want to bring up pictures of them and stuff. And I was going through your profile. I'm like, oh, I took this one. I like this one. It was pretty good. My amateur photographer skills, but it was a pretty good one.
Good.
Let's go. So first, this is from Esoteric Simpleton. That's his name on the message board. Why did you decide to serve a mission after high school instead of enrolling at USC right away? And in what ways did the mission benefit you as a person and a football player?
That's a great question. I think for me, I decided ultimately to serve a mission because I felt like that was the thing for me to do within my religion, within just the way I grew up. I wanted to do that since I was a kid. My dad served a mission. He talked about it a lot and just how he grew. So I think it's kind of the first part is I just really felt like I needed to. And God was something very important to me. So that was I never was forced to. It was totally my decision. My parents were cool either way. Same with, my other brothers, cool either way with it. I just felt like, it's something I want to do. So I did it. And I think the way that it's benefited me now on the back end is just giving me a lot of maturity because I'm a little older, right? So I was a freshman and I was, 20 years old or whatever. So that's old. But it gave me a lot of maturity. I mean, old for a freshman.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But it gave me a lot of maturity and like perspective. And I think there was just things that I learned, and like it just gave me a whole new perspective of life outside of football. And just now, being at school, being in football, I think there's just lessons that I take from that experience every single day that have helped me a lot. And then just it really helped me grow up and mature. And when I came to school, I was just, I think, in a better headspace than I would have been if I would have just come out of high school. And I just didn't really mess around with things. I just was very focused on school and football. And that was about it. And so I think it helped me accelerate a lot faster because I didn't really have that many distractions.
Remind us where you took the mission again. Was it in Europe?
Yeah, it's Norway.
Northern
Europe.
Cool. So 2 questions that are in a similar vein. Casey Cosgrove and then the next 662. So Casey wants to know, how did you train for football during your mission? And then the next says, from a mission standpoint, how did the staff work with you on your mission, meaning the strength staff to your position coach to Coach Riley?
Yeah. I mean, so I had about an hour and a half every morning to work out. And then one day a week where if I wanted to do, field work or stuff, I could do it. So like actually training wise, before I left, I had the strength staff. They gave me like a little routine that I could follow, and I followed it to the best of my ability. It wasn't always, feasible with the resources I had, but I tried to the best I could. And if there was something I needed to, exchange, I did. And then as far as the communication with the coaches and stuff, I mean, it was something I communicated very early. I think even when Coach Riley recruited me at the old school, I think I told him that that was like a plan of mine and stuff. And so when he came over, it wasn't like a surprise. And there was coaches on the staff who had dealt with mission guys before. So I think there was just different perspectives, but I think I might have been Coach Riley's first guy he's coached who went on a mission. So for him, it was a little bit new, but, we communicated when we could, and they gave me, installs as I was getting ready to come back that I could look at if I had time, stuff like that. But for the most part, there wasn't a lot of communication. It was pretty much just me on my own. But then I got back and I just kind of got thrown into everything, and it was really fast paced and like drinking out of a fire hose a little bit, but I mean, ended up working out. And I feel like this year is kind of like I'm a little bit more settled, and like I feel like this probably would have been more of like a realistic freshman year in a lot of ways, but I'm super grateful for last year and everything I learned. And then to get a full off season was just, I think the difference.
Cool. Oh, that's good stuff there. Eddie from Orange had a question. He said, at Folsom, you typically played as a split-out receiver rather than an inline tight end. How was that transition, and what was it like adjusting to blocking first and second-level defenders as opposed to defensive backs?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's also a good question. I think having Coach Hansen my first year helped me a lot with that, with his background on the O-line. He was just totally able to, because I was always willing. I was definitely wanted to block. I wanted to know how to block good. I wanted to be physical. I liked the idea of, basically just blocking somebody into the dirt. Like, that is exciting to me, and I take pride in that. And I think I just didn't really have like the coaching behind it yet, but having him year one and then having a whole off season to really practice it, I think I since I was willing and able and just wanted to, I think I have become a pretty good blocker, and it's something I take pride in. And also split out, I think I get a lot of things that are super, I guess, beneficial to our team, and then good for the skill set that I have.
Got a question here from Danimal USC. Who is the toughest person to block on the edge during practice?
Ooh. Anthony Lucas, I would say.
Oh.
He's yeah.
How happy were you for him that he got the 2 sacks this week?
I mean, Me and Ant are close. He's a good kid, great kid. Honestly, just one of the most chill dudes on our team. But I was super happy for him, and I just felt great for him. After the off season and him rehabbing the injury, just it was awesome to see him out there getting some sacks.
Yeah, a couple sacks for Lucas. It was a big breakout game for him. I think it's important going into Big Ten play to get him rolling. USC could certainly use him with the pass rush. Gate Call had a question. Are there any NFL tight ends that you study for blocking specifically?
George Kittle. I say that's the go-to for me for blocking. Also for receiving, yards after catch. I think he's just, for me, he's kind of been like my prototypical tight end one in the NFL. I think he just plays the game the right way, and I try and kind of have the same mindset that he does when it comes to blocking run game.
Wow.
Cognitive Dissonance wants to know, what's your major and why did you pick that major if you have one yet?
So I'm real estate development with business finance minor. And I think I picked it just because it was always something that was interesting to me. I don't really know other than that. I think at the time it sounded really interesting. I knew some people who were in commercial real estate and development. And the idea of it just kind of was intriguing to me. And so I declared it as my major and I've stuck with it. And then I have the business minor because if I'm at USC, I might as well take advantage of the Marshall School business, take those classes, get those networking connections. And finance obviously will just serve you well down the road no matter what field I go into. So, yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, we talked to a lot of former players that work in commercial real estate, so it seems like a common theme there. So that's good. Yeah, good network there for you. GC Thunder, he says, and we kind of talked about this a little bit, I guess, but he says 3 out of 7 receiving tight ends this year have went to tight ends. Touchdowns have went to tight ends. Sorry, with fewer returning receivers from last year. Have you noticed an increased chemistry between Jaden and Hassan and the tight end room?
Yeah, I think totally. We got the opportunity early in the spring. We were trying out a lot of new things in the pass game with tight ends, 12 personnel wise, and we just had a great spring. We killed it totally. And so I think since that, we've just kind of rode that momentum through the summer, through the fall, and into the season. So I think we've definitely developed a great chemistry with the quarterbacks especially, and we've become, reliable big targets, and we've just done everything we've been asked to do so far.
And then the last one here from the next 662 again, you've touched on this one a little bit too, but how have you seen the offense change to incorporate the tight end more since you've been at USC? Is it just the matter of getting two of you guys out there more often, or is there more that goes into it, I'm sure?
Yeah, I think a big piece of it is definitely having two tight end sets more often, always having one tight end for the majority of the time in the game, because naturally that's just going to increase volume, increase performance. But I think we've just seen a little bit of a change just in some of the things that we've wanted to do offensively, schematically, that have just made more sense to have more tight ends on the field. So
cool. Well, great stuff. We'll get you the applause. Appreciate you coming on, and we usually do a screenshot. I'll put this up here if you want to do like the fight on. It's usually a good screenshot. Yeah, perfect. Oh, I love it. That's a good one. That's great stuff. Usually you have an iPad, right? Usually like the balloons come up when people put the fight on sign on or whatever. But yeah. But thanks again for coming on. I know you guys are real busy. Congratulations on the first career touchdown, and good luck going on the road and heading into Big Ten play. But again, thanks to you, and thanks to House of Victory for setting it up.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. Connor Morrissette, USC sophomore tight end. Walker Lyons, you can follow him out there. Check him out. USC taking on Purdue this weekend on the road. I'm Ryan Abraham. Hope you guys all enjoyed the show, and we will talk to you next time.